dad was a longshoreman. I was really the first in our family to attend college. Others may have tried, but I was the first to attend college. But I did have the opportunity to attend Columbia University, but my heart was set on Rutgers University, and not New Brunswick, but Rutgers-Newark. When I came to Rutgers-Newark, when I think back on it, I think there was a combination in me of naivete and arrogance, and I mean that in this sense. Like a lot of people, I was a high achiever in my high school, and the high school was parochial high school in Hudson County. So I thought college would be an extension, really, of learning experience that I had in high school, where it'd be pretty easy for me to, to grasp the topics and move ahead. So when I sat down to put my, first semester freshman selections, I decided that it'd be neat to learn Russian. So I put Russian down as my language to study. And because at that time I was an English major, I decided that I would sign up for an advanced class on the English poets, assuming that both of these would be fun. Well, it wasn't actually a funny experience at the time. It's only funny when I reflect back. It was more of a classic tragedy. When I showed up in the Russian class, there were only 11 other students in that class. Professor Fedorenko, who is in my nightmares to this day, was the professor. The other students in the class were all Lithuanians and from nationalities that were familiar with the Cyrillic alphabet. I was the only person in the class who had never seen the Cyrillic alphabet before. And Professor Fedorenko clearly wasn't crazy about having me in his class. So I think in the first month or so, his aim was to kind of embarrass me into dropping the course, which at that time I was too stubborn to do. So I spent that first semester concerned about failing Russian, obviously, and going through great agony during the path of that semester. Now I passed the course. And I think, in my view, I could speak Russian when I finished. But quite frankly, I don't think a Russian would have known that. But clearly the most formidable presence, an enduring presence at that time for me, was Henry Blumenthal, who, as you know, was an extraordinary educator, went on to become the dean of the college at a time right after the civil unrest that occurred in the 60s, and I was attending school at that time. Henry Blumenthal was just a person who not only was a scholar, but was a human being. And Henry, his experiences, as some of us know, occurred in Germany during the war, in pre-war, I should say, where his family, he was Jewish, his family was able, part of his family, was able to migrate to the United States. Those vivid recollections of his life at that time, and obviously his success as a great educator, were really good life lessons for everybody that was in that class and had the opportunity to study or work with him. He is an impressive man, an enduring legacy, and I have to say that his sense of humanity, coupled with tremendous intellect, was something that I've admired in others, and I don't mean to sound arrogant to overuse, but I try to find it in myself, that sense of balance and respect, and very influential in my life. Yeah, I don't know whether I'm Mr. Newark, but certainly I've certainly been around here a while. If I look at the two companies that I had the opportunity to work with and to lead, New Jersey Bell and Public Service, all right? The majority of the employees in both of those companies are blue-collar employees. And one thing is for sure, when you're working with men and women who are in the trades, who are in the crafts, those people have a culture of interdependency, mainly because of the nature of the work, because of the safety issues, but also a sense of community. And as a colleague of them, when I was not an executive, I felt that strongly. They give back to the community individually. When I became an executive in both of those companies, I not only had that culture in me, but also I felt a heavy obligation to those men and women that as their leader, as an executive, I needed to personify and live the values that the company held most dear. So it was very easy for me to invest what time I had outside of the work environment in community activities. And as it came to pass, a multitude of those activities occurred here in Newark, whether it was a mentoring program that my wife and I were involved in, St. Benedict's Prep, which I serve on the board of, and numerous transitory affiliations over time. So that's really how that occurred. It wasn't such a hard thing to do. And then, of course, when I retired in 2003 from public service, this organization, the Newark Alliance, a few of us had founded about 12 years ago. Tom Kane, Art Ryan, who was CEO of Prudential, myself, Ray Chambers, Rutgers-Newark graduate, extraordinary man. We had founded this organization to try to heal the Newark K-12 public school situation. So at the time I retired, Art Ryan said, "What are you going to do? Go play golf someplace? You don't even know how to golf." So, which is true. So he said, "Why don't you stick around and stay involved here?" And that's where I am today. The thing that makes me happiest is that what I valued in this little college when I was here, and that is its extraordinary connection to this urban center. The ability to get involved in its toughest issues, the sense of courage, that sense that we are more than just an educational institution, that we have an obligation to where we are. I think the Rutgers-Newark community feels that they're in this together.